Should I start? Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, if you're in that part of the world, and a very warm welcome. I'm truly glad that all of you could join us today. Across schools worldwide, we're seeing a growing interest in AI. Educators are experimenting, leaders are exploring different tools, institutions are investing in different platforms, but there's an important pattern that is emerging. Most schools are using AI in isolated ways, a lesson plan here, a quick summary there, maybe a report generated occasionally. And what's still missing is something far more powerful, a system, a way to connect leadership vision, classroom practice, institutional data, and decision making in one coherent workflow. Because real transformation doesn't come from scattered tools, it comes from structured systems. That's exactly what today's session is about, the Gemini Playbook. We're going to explore how schools can move beyond fragmented AI use and begin building data-driven workflows that support clarity, alignment, and smarter decisions. It's my pleasure to announce today's session lead. Today's workshop is led by Shahida Rehman, CEO and founder of 𝗬𝗵𝗁, an educator-focused platform dedicated to helping institutions integrate AI meaningfully into their teaching, learning, and leadership practices. Shahida works closely with educators, academic leaders, and institutional designers to move beyond tool adaptation and working towards building structured, scalable AI systems. Through Skilling Future workshops, implementation labs, and leadership programs, she has supported institutions in developing practical workflows that connect strategy, classroom practice, and data-driven decision-making. We're excited to learn from her experience and insights today. Whether you're a school leader, instructional designer, or educator working closely with institutional practices, today's session is designed to help you and your institution think about more clearly about how AI fits within your bigger picture. So thank you all for being here today, for investing your time, and for open to rethinking about your school, how your school works with data, decisions, and digital systems. Let's begin. Over to you, Shahida.
Thank you so much, Sana, for a wonderful introduction. Hi, everyone. I hope some of the people who have attended my previous workshop, and that was about building workflows on the same topic, but from a different angle. And in that previous workshop, I had shown the possibilities of that how Gemini can work across the Google Workspace, in Google Docs or Google Sheets, Google Vids, Google Slides, in all these, and how in email as well. So the last workshop was more about showing what I had already prepared. And today I'm going to show you that.
Shahida, we cannot hear you.
Shahida, we cannot, yeah, exactly.
How you can create a master, that is the master context hub that enter for your entire workflow. Andy, have you said something?
I think that you should, yes, Sana and I couldn't hear you, and I think that at the moment you're frozen. So yeah,
Am I now?
now you're audible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I was saying that this is the second workshop in the series of building workflows through Gemini in Google Workspace. In the previous session, I have shown that okay, what all are the possibilities, how Gemini is being used in Google Docs and Sheets, what it can do over there in Google Slides and also in Google Vids, and also how you can write emails through using Gemini inbuilt within the Gmail. So these things were covered in previous session. So today I'm going to show you that, okay, how you are going to build the command center for the workflow. That is a master document, how you are going to do it. So first of all, I'm going to show you, as the title of the workshop is the Gemini Playbook. So it has certain, I have prepared the templates and the guides. In the last workshop, they demanded, they asked for it. So
Your
with
voice
you,
is, sorry,
during the
Shahida,
work,
but your
I
voice
will
is
be
dropping in the
sharing my
middle.
presentation, and then I think I should switch off my camera.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
think so. Try that.
Okay. Just hold on. Let me see.
And I've also, for everybody else, I've also shared the YouTube link for the last session in the case you weren't there and you would want to have a look at what was discussed there. So this is a session, I've just shared a link.
Okay, of February 28th session, right?
Yes,
Okay, and now I hope so. Now my voice
yes,
is
it's
better.
Yeah,
okay.
your
It's
voice
good.
now is clear. Thank you.
Okay, thanks God. So this is the folder, the Gemini workflow folder, which we will be sharing with you. And I'm just going to quickly show you one by one what it has. This is the master context hub. Basically, this is the master document which for any project that is required to be prepared. So this is the template. We will also share with you this template as well. So this is the template which I use for developing my workflows. And I told on in my previous session as well, but today definitely I'm going to repeat because there are many new people in today's session. So there are the 5 stage workflow. So this is the template which I will be sharing with you. Sana, you can please share with them this document, the template right now. And this is the guide which I have developed. That okay, how you are going to fill out that template. Okay, so this is a guide. Again, the same 5 stages: idea, strategy, communication, feedback, analysis, and then what are the alternatives and what are the key takeaways. So these things are there. So this is a guide. Okay, how to fill out that template. It is there. Then you will, and then I have also given a professional prompt structure as well, that okay, what type of prompts you should use and what should be the structure of the prompt. Okay, so it follows sorry. Okay, so it follows the same framework: role, context, task, and constraint. So this is the framework which I have shared, and you can have a look at it in your available time. Then I also have a prompt library which can be you can use which you can use. Like for example, here certain prompts I have been written, and you can modify them. These are general prompts which you can use for each of the stage. I have given us, and these prompts can be used at a starter point, and they will be definitely very helpful. So this is the prompt library which you will also get. Then workflow examples. And these are the workflow examples I have. Last time I also showed some of the things which I had created out of this workflow. So for example, this is a workflow now for a school principal who want to see an academic progress and who is working on an intervention project. Then this is the train the trainer project workflow for instructional designers. You should do tools, for example, docs, sheets. Then is this one as well, an example workflow for a teacher. So these are the example workflows. And for example, once you have set your workflow, then how to update it and how to check it and how to keep it updated. So this last file is about that. It is taking some time to load. I hope now it is visible. Sana, the 10-minute Monday morning routine. Okay, so
Oh, no, it's the fifth one, the workflow examples that you shared. I can see that document.
okay, it will also be visible. I think there is some lag
Yeah,
between yeah.
yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, so this is how you can keep a track of your workflow and how to keep it updated. Okay, so these are the resources which we will be sharing with you. Right now, Sana will be sharing the template of developing this master talk. And then after that, I'm going to the same template, and it is for grade 10 physics proficiency project. Okay, so let's start with the presentation first so that you will have a clear idea. It would be nice if you people can also let of this document you if you can, or we don't mind if you want to take any screenshots of the screen as well, because again today's workshop is more about developing a strategic architecture of your workflow, you see, more than how to tool use. So it is about developing a strategy, so you have to pay attention to this thing and keep on taking notes. So now we will see the most important document, that is the master context hub. That is basically, you can say, the command center or the nervous system of the entire workflow. We will see how it is developed. So here, for example, the current state right now, as Sana has already mentioned, that what happens that we generate things, we generate isolated lesson plans, isolated assessment results. We never, connect the dots. So the aim of this workflow is that, okay, we connect the dots. Like, for example, when a student was enrolled in your class at the start of academic session, so what was the baseline assessment? What type of student he or she was? What was his result when he was
Shahida, your
enrolled in school,
voice keeps
lagging, or where he
dropping.
was progressing? Sorry?
Your voice keeps dropping. I think so. Why don't you leave and then rejoin? Maybe it could be fixed.
Okay, 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 okay. Let me.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, our audience, yeah, Dr. Mubina, that is there. At times, expect the unexpected when we are doing webinars, and the internet has been a little patchy. In the meanwhile, why don't you all let us know what are the different sessions, even though you guys do fill the feedback form, what are the different other sessions you would want us to conduct in the future, or you are curious about and would like to explore with us? We are always looking forward to what our audience wants to have a look at and then work on developing something. Yeah, Claude Code is definitely. I was just having a conversation with Andy about Claude Cowork and Claude Code just before the session started.
And by the way, for those that have noticed, I am sharing all our contact links where you can find not only the resources from previous sessions on our YouTube channel, but also you can find our LinkedIn page and also our web page where you can find really valuable resources, especially chatbot created by us. That are really going to come up handy when it comes to whatever it is that you might be creating in your classroom. So yeah, that's what you can find in our website. Okay, so Shahida has already joined. She's come
Yeah,
back.
one of the chatbots that I use a lot is the assessment chatbot. All of the chatbots have been developed on Boodlebox. Really, it's really, really good.
Yes.
One of my favorites out of the ones that I've created and one I really use a lot. Chaida, yeah, you're on mute. Yeah.
I hope that now I am audible.
Yes.
Audience. Okay. So I was talking that, for example, the current state I was talking about that, for example, students get enrolled at the start of academic session. and he or she is an average student, and you get a baseline data. Then, for example, you start with the academic session, you keep on taking weekly tests as a teacher, and then keep on monitoring things, that okay, how he or she has performed in test one, that result is kept separate, then test two, and then test three, and then test four. So all these things are being stored at different places, at random places. And in some schools, yes, they keep a consolidated sheet of and they add up the results of weekly and term basis tests and all that. But what do you understand out of that, how to make sense out of that data, where to add interventions, at which time to come to rescue, when to inform parents, and how to make this process efficient. So this is the entire purpose of developing this workflow. So, like for example, as I've seen that by the time data is seen, it's too late to intervene. That, for example, the student has been failing in certain tests, and then tests, and then tests, and then a term exam comes, and suddenly he fails the entire term exam. And when then parents come, with a complaint that you have not informed us, or we were not well informed, or a student was not timely given an intervention support to clarify his or her concept, or his problems were not timely addressed. So that thing blasted at the end of 4 months semester or 6 month semester. So we want to avoid that thing, for example. So that's why these type of workflows are important. So what are the characteristics? A continuous conversation between vision and reality, that is the stakeholders. For example, as a principal, you can keep your a check of teachers' performance. You can keep a check of the feedback from the students. You can stay connected with parents as well. Then identify, for example, academic slippage within 5 working days, proactive intervention that ensures no student feels invisible. So these type of things are possible. So example projects can be high school mathematics intervention project, zero lag parent communication project, and for example, a train the trainer educator certification project. So these type of projects can be created. Then we also then it is very much important, as we always say in our every session, that ethics come first. Whenever you use these AI tools, never ever feed any personal information of yourself or your students. So whatever you feed, it should be anonymized. It should be always anonymized, no matter how much the vendor claims that our platform is safe and secure and all that. Despite of everything, you should always anonymize student data. Never ever use their names, their addresses, their personal information, even your own. Then whatever output is generated by the AI, because towards the end of workflow or during it, you will be consulting Gemini to assess, for example, the student feedback data. And also you will ask it to okay, generate the next intervention plan, or you might ask it to write a feedback for student. So you should read each and everything thoroughly. Don't just simply give command to Gemini. It will create it. Definitely it is going to create an output for you, but whether it is relevant or not, you are the one who have to assess this. Then bias check, execute a quarterly audit of AI outputs to guarantee equitable support across all student demographics. I would say instead of quarterly, you should do it regularly. Whenever you generate any AI output, you should do this thing regularly. Like for example, there are biases inbuilt in the large language models. For example, if you have fed a data of, let's say, maybe English language learner, or maybe a person who is not a non-native English speaker, and you have specifically mentioned it in the sheet somewhere. So there is a possibility that AI might pick that thing and then form an opinion and then write its feedback accordingly. So it is very, very important that never ever in your input write anything that can lead to bias initially. And if there is a bias in the output, remove it. Okay, so the phase one is that the very first thing, or the very first step of the developing a master context hub or a master document, is that first of all you have to write down that okay, what is the project, what is the problem, and how that problem will be solved. For example, and in this phase 1, that is the ideation phase, you write the thesis statement. For example, the problem is high failure rate in 10th grade physics, and your proposed solution is that integrated virtual simulations. Okay, or we can also add here that, okay, we will run a 5-day sprint cycle, or we will weekly assess their work, for example. Then desired outcome, that okay, what exactly you want, that what is your ideal result of your intervention. It is like, for example, 0 students falling behind due to lack of teacher support. So the aim is the teacher support should be there. Then the friction point, 4-week reporting lag and slow manual data. So the friction point, the template which we have shared with you as well, friction point means that any barrier that is there in the system of the school, and that is causing delay. So it is not, a friction point is not a problem at the end of the student. So it is a problem at the end of the school. So basically you have to identify that thing. Then the why test, if it does not save time, prove outcomes, or align with values, then pivot now. Pivot now means you have to change it now. So these are things. And then also how your project is aligned with your school mission, aligned with your school strategic plan, or for example, how your project is aligned with your syllabus, with your curriculum, with the benchmark standards which were given to you. So how it is aligned, you also have to find out that. Then also in the same phase 1, you also have to identify your primary stakeholders or primary target audience, whether the target audience as parents or the students or teachers, who so on. So these are mentioned in the template as well. You can have a look at it. So for example, this is one of the prompt which can be used. I have this prompt is also there. We have given it to you in a guide. So based on the friction point of the 4-week reporting lag, suggest 2 ways Gemini can automate the data collection process to save 5 hours of manual entry per week. So you can use this type of prompts to get an insight that how Gemini can be helpful for you. Then the second stage is strategy. That is, you have to connect your goals to live data in the signal layer. So what does that mean? It means that, for example, you have to develop an implementation tracker sheet. A tracker sheet you have to develop in Google Sheets. I will show you that how it is developed, how I have developed, and I'm going to show you the sample as well. So the implementation tracker sheet, for example, that okay, the performance of a student in the first test, in the second test, third test, fourth test, fifth test, so on and so forth. And then where does he fall? Is he falling behind, on track or not? So this type of tracking sheet is required. And how that tracking sheet will be fed, that obviously you will be feeding it with your assessment results. So any workflow, if you don't give it any reference, if you don't give it data, it is blind. So it is important to give it a data, live data. So in this stage, and that data layer is known as signal layer. So signal layer means that you are giving it a signal, you are giving it a data, and then based on that data, your tracker sheet is going to give you insights. So here, for example, you will set your key performance indicators, again, keeping in view the policy or the project which you have in your mind. Then again, anonymized live student data. For example, if you're feeding the student results of test, so their names must be replaced with some serial number or something of this sort. I will show you how it is possible. Then again, you have to establish the crisis threshold. For example, if a student has scored less than, let's say 40%. So a trigger alert will be there. It is going to tell you that, okay, this student is at risk and this action is required to be done. So these are some of the metrics, for example, attendance, for example, proficiency. Then baseline is, let's say this was the initial score of the student when he or she was enrolled. And this is the target which you have set for that, for example, specific student or for your specific class in this case. And this is the cycle that you can run weekly or bi-weekly. So here, for example, this is the draft. This is the prompt that can be run. Like, for example, suggest a weighted logic for my columns that would identify a student who is drifting, gradually declining, rather than just failing a sudden drop. So Gemini can definitely help you with this one as well. Then the phase 3. Now, the phase 3 is that here where you communicate with, you start your communication with stakeholder. Phase 3 can also, like, communication can be an ongoing process as well. Like, for example, after you have set your implementation tracker sheet and you have got initial results of a student XYZ, and the tracker has told you that, okay, that student is not performing well, or it needs attention, or it at risk. So immediately the next step should be the communication with parents. Then and if more students in that particular class are failing or they're not performing well, then there should be the briefing notes for the teacher, for example. And then student nudges and feedback template. So you need to develop all these templates. This is a one-time effort, and then you can use them. So this is it. So important is that you have to build golden templates to translate the signal layer, which means the implementation tracker which we have developed. So you have to understand, it is going to interpret the data for you, and then based on that data which you have received about the performance of students, so you are going to talk to parents through email or notes. Maybe you can write notes on diary, or you can send email as per the school policy. You can talk to your teachers. Maybe they need a professional development session. You can talk to student, for example, if you are a teacher and you have developed this project, so maybe you need to talk to your students, and maybe you need to develop a strategy with them. So this is thing. So, like, for example, here reference at Master Context Hub, draft a supportive briefing for grade level teachers, let's say grade 10 or grade 9. Ensure the tone is collaborative and focus on how this data reduces their administrative friction point. So, for example, this type of information can be shared, or a session can be done. Then at phase 4. Now, phase 4 is about capturing the human barriers behind the numbers. Now, many a times you have observed that it happens that students, some of the students, they are really good at the start of academic session, but over the passage of time, their performance starts getting declined. And sometimes after 3 months or 4 months, we get amazed that, okay, that student was really good, but at the start of the session or in the initial assessments, but then what happened that it, performed very badly in the term exam. So to avoid this, so what we do is, the next step of the workflow is that you have to identify the problems earlier. So for this purpose, or for checking the pulse, what we do is that we do the survey. Okay, survey from students, survey from teachers, and to get their feedback. Like, for example, for students, if they we can ask them on weekly basis or bi-weekly basis a very simple 2 to 3 questions in a Google form or a short survey form, that, okay, what are the barriers which you are facing for your studies, like, for example, technological barrier, your personal, let's say, personal problems, personal health issues, any environmental issues at home, you're not able to get any peaceful space, or conceptual problems. So there can be these 4 types of problems that students might face. So through the survey, so we can simply multiple choice survey, we can quickly have an idea that what problem the student is facing, and it hardly takes 2 to 3 minutes for the student to fill out, but it gives you a very very insightful data that, okay, how the conceptual clarity is going, and what about the other allied resources which you are using, or student has those resources at home or not. Okay, so timely intervention is possible on weekly basis, rather than you have to wait for the end of the term. So here, like, for example, so then there is and the aim of this exercise is that when you will identify the root cause of the poor result, let's say, of a student, so then you also have to find out the barriers, that, okay, why it happened. That, for example, a student scored 40%. So we did the survey, we found out the root cause, and then we found out the why behind the what, that is the poor result. So those why I have told you in the form of, that can be academic reasons, that can be non-academic reason. So here this stage is about that. And what we can do is, like, for example, if you have found out the root cause of the certain result of certain number of students, so then based on that, again, you can develop a communication strategy, for example, with your teacher. And you can then talk to her or him, or if there are multiple teachers, you can talk to them, and maybe you can arrange a professional development session, or you can have an open discussion with them, or you can even also give them a survey feedback form or short interviews to further dig into the problem, and then you will be able to solve the problem at a very early stage. So this is the purpose of this phase 4. At phase 5, now what happens that, okay, as I was mentioning, that you have identified at stage 3, you have identified the problem, you have initially seen the results, and then at stage 4, you have identified the problem, and then now you have to, sorry, you have identified the results at stage 2, and then you have communicated, that you have done initially communicate with parents and students and teachers, and then, for example, you have conducted a survey. Now you have got the complete picture, the result, the feedback of stakeholders, whether they're parents, the students, or teachers. Now what to do with that data? So with that data, you will analyze everything, and then you will take help of Gemini. It is going to tell you that, okay, what is the complete picture of the problem, and then what should be the strategy, helpful strategy, and what should be the expected outcome of that. Okay, so here the stage 1 and then stage 2, that is the data, and stage 4, the barriers. So these 3 will be referred, and then this log will be completed, and then this pivot log can be updated time to time because you see the result is being fed. It is again a cyclic process. Every week you conduct a test, you upload the test result, then you at the end of the week you conduct a survey, then you upload the result of that survey. It is automatically connected. Then you have come to know about the result, and then the barrier and the problem, and then based on that again you run the prompt, and then you keep on devising the strategies and the action that are required to be taken and expected result. And then you can also add that, okay, the notes, whether what action was taken, was it helpful, was it not helpful. So those things can be added up. So for example, a prompt is act as a senior strategist. We are 5% behind our target in signal layer. Let's say target was 80%. And the class is, cumulative class score is, let's say 75%. So based on the barriers found in phase 4, propose 2 innovative rescue strategies. Rescue strategy means the solution, that, okay, the future course of action that is required. So it is not just the solution, it is a proper course of action or an action plan on which teacher need to work, or student need to work, or administration need to work. I hope we might have school leaders also in the audience as well. And they are able to relate what I am talking about, and also the teachers, because they also have to develop these reports frequently, and they have to submit these reports to administration. So I'm very much hopeful that they are familiar with the process of taking feedback or analyzing results. So what I am telling you is that, okay, how you can make sense of it, and how you can connect dot, and then move forward. Okay, so these are the 5 phases. And then the engine room, the master library. So what I always do is, for my workflows, is I always write prompts. And what I do is I normally write prompts, type them, for example, in Gemini, and then I ask Gemini to refine them in the light of my master context hub. I do take help of Gemini, and it helps me refining in my prompts. So I always, with every workflow, I keep my prompt library. So it is really important. For each stage, you can keep the prompts, and you can use them time and time again, or you can keep them updated as well, or you can update them. For example, the prompt 1, let's say, act as my strategic advisor, review this document based on the project thesis and key performance indicators, suggest the first 3 actions I should take, let's say. Then again, we are missing our KPI for attendance, analyze the barrier data, and propose a 3-step rescue strategy. So you see, these type of prompts, they can be used time and again. Then this is, for example, a prompt for stakeholder synchronization using intelligence data from signal layer. Signal layer means the tracker sheet which you have set up. Draft a weekly progress brief for grade 9 teachers that focus on proficiency and align with our mission statement. So the purpose is that everything is connected to school policy, connected to results, connected to feedback. Everything is is interconnected. So nothing is isolated. So then what you can do is on weekly basis, for example, you can have your 10 minutes Monday morning routine, open the signal layer sheet, that is your tracker sheet. Then you can add up the latest data, for example, this week results. Then you can open Gemini, say review my data, let's implement the implementation tracker sheet, identify any student who crossed our crisis threshold this week, draft a one sentence alignment nudge for each or advice for that student, and then execute and send the nudges. If a student is flagged twice in a row, trigger the phase 3, that is you have to again write the email to the parent. So this is how it works. And then so you can again check the things on weekly basis, on bi-weekly basis, and at the end of the month you can generate a report, and then you can again at the end of 4 months, and then at the end of semester and term, and then at the end of year. So everything gets aligned, and you get a complete picture of the entire year and the interventions which you have been taking, and were they effective or not effective. So some of the other things can be done here for the stage 5, the strategies or the actions which you can take. Instead of alerting teachers, build workflows where students receive their own data along with 3 AI-generated growth paths they can choose from. Or, for example, you can use AI to analyze historical data and predict which curriculum units will cause the most problem before they begin, enabling preemptive professional development. So sometimes, for example, if I talk about science or mathematics, even in English, if one concept is not clear and students have performed very badly in that, so wisdom says that, okay, it means that that concept need to be retaught, or maybe some other different type of techniques need to be used. So something needs to be changed, or something needs to be added or removed in order to improve that concept. So then, for example, community pivot use the signal layer. That is again the implementation tracker result to trigger positive vouchers for local businesses. For example, when students hits growth target, turning academic success into community pride. So these are the extensions that are possible. So the whole concept of this workflow thing is that it should be a living document. It should not be something, a one odd exercise which you have done and then you have just kept it in your drive or in your laptop. So you keep on updating this thing. So your master context hub is a conversation between your vision. Your vision means your ultimate aim or your goal or your target of yourself as a teacher, as a leader, and your institution with reality. Like, for example, if you say that, okay, I want that no student is left behind, or every student's concept are clear, or every student gets timely intervention. So this is the workflow that can help you out. So again, use it every Monday. Again, Monday is just an example. You can set your own thing. Maybe you set it on Friday or Thursday. It depends on you to ensure your mission isn't just a poster on the wall, but a lived experience for every student. So I hope I have given a comprehensive introduction. So now let's see what I have built and how you can build it too. So any questions so far?
Noor has a question, and she was saying that I was wondering if privacy reasons we change the student's name, how will they identify themselves when a feedback is sent? We aren't changing email IDs, right? And there's another question, I'll answer that one. She says that my institution doesn't use Google Workspace. I will have to see how it's mapped on ms/. Noor, number one, with enterprise systems, for example, when you say that, okay, you have the Office 365 system, I think so, at your school subscription. And then even for Google Workspace, within the institutional framework, there are certain privacy protocols that are present. For example, I do know because my own institute makes use of Google, we are not able to, for example, the chats aren't shareable, and along with that, same goes for the data as well. And Google themselves say that they are not, unless and until they don't use enterprise or educational data for training their models. So we will have to check out Office 365 and its integration with these tools, because majorly institutes at the moment have this. I'll have a look with respect to how Office 365 integrates with this, and in what way their structure and their integration varies. Because at the moment, Gemini is there, and it has this integration within their their different tiers. But for Office 365, we'll have a look that, okay, within the Copilot, how integrated is it with the rest of the services, like Google, like Excel or other docs or other applications that they have. If they have something similar, then it would be amazing.
I would like to take the question about the email ID thing, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
All right. Actually, the setup is actually very easy, but only if the students' names are changed, but the email IDs remain the same. Identification can still happen in a way that it's through email address. So in this case, a typical setup would be, for example, when we have the student's name, the email address, and the feedback. When it comes to the student's name, for example, that name can be replaced with maybe with a nickname or a code for privacy. The email address can remain the same with a unique identifier, for example, or also the feedback delivery. So, and for the feedback delivery, what we can do is to link it to that student. So my advice is that when that student receives the feedback, or when we want to give our students feedback through email, the system identifies the student through the email ID and not the displayed name. Like, for example, the one that I might have here, that is never going to be out there.
Apart from that, in one of the earlier workshops, Shahida showed one of the prompts that she worked with and the gem that she created, in which it would anonymize all of the data that was present and then just look at the trends that are there.
Yes. So you have to also, thank you so much, girls, for the feedback and for answering them very properly. So yes, it is possible. And also in your master context hub document, which I will show you now, that okay, how I have developed, you have to specify over there as well. Okay, so in every prompt which you give to Gemini to process that data as well. So it is important at every stage. So this is basically the implementation tracker sheet, which I was referring again and again during my presentation. And it can be easily created through a prompt. I have not typed anything. The previous workshop, I have shown that how I had typed the prompt here in the Gemini. I have told it the columns, that which column I want drop down, or check boxes or text or numbers. So it itself has created the formulas and have entered this thing. So this is, for example, my 1 month implementation tracker sheet, as you can see. And how, like, for example, this is the anonymous thing which I'm saying, that for example, the students, they have been allotted this number, G10, let's say grade 10 physics 001. So in this way I have a data of 30 students here. And then, for example, the baseline score when the student was enrolled, like if a student is in grade 10, so what was his score in physics in grade 9, for example, annual exam. So this is a baseline score we have here. His math level means, because obviously in physics, mathematics is a part and parcel of that. So with math means his logical understanding, his mathematical skills. So how are they? So high, medium, or low. So this is again a drop-down list I have, and then based on this percentage, the Gemini has classified it. Then this is, for example, week 1 result, week 2 assessment result, week 3 and week 4, the weekly test result. So this is the average score of that. And then the pacing status can be monitored. For example, is it on track, is it drifting, or is it behind? Like, for example, again, it sees that the threshold which you have set, for example, if the benchmark is 85% in the weekly test, and the student has scored after 4 weeks, let's say 78%, so that student is drifting from the target. Or, like, for example, that is behind. So you set certain threshold, and then accordingly it gives you this thing, this pacing status. Then red flag, and as you can see now here, the students who are behind, they have been flagged red, which means checkbox, and we can easily identify, okay, these students need to be given attention, and these students need to be, you see, there are now so many students here we can see. Then the third thing which I told you was the baseline at the start of session. So these first two columns are related to that. Then their weekly performance over the month. We can also, by the way, the weekly performance can be entered. Like for example, for week 1, I entered data and then it gave me the spacing status and all these things. Then for week 2, it automatically calculated the average and then it gave me pacing status, red flags and all those things. So on weekly basis, you see, we can enter data. So this sheet can be maintained monthly, or even I think it has space. You can also add even 4 more weeks for 2 months, or even for a semester. I think if the semester is of 4 months, so I think 16 weeks can be also easily accommodated. But if you don't want to clutter it, it's okay. It's easy. You can maintain this implementation tracker on monthly basis. Let's say, for example, this is a tracker for the month of February, let's say. Then the barrier category. Now, this barrier category and student-specific challenge. So from where I have got this information? I got this information from a survey which I have conducted, and based on the feedback of students, for example, these are the four types of barriers, or they also none. And student might not face any of the barrier. So these were the options which I had given to the students in the survey form. Okay. So based on the results, I fed the results, and then it has categorized students accordingly. So here you can see, and if I ask it, the Gemini that, okay, tell me the ratio of the students or the percentage of students who are facing conceptual problems. So it will give me that. Then student-specific challenges. Again, these are the comments which students were, for example, they have written. And then follow-up is required or not required. So as you can see here, that if a student is behind, yes, follow-up is required. If a student is facing like drifting from the thing, required. If a student is facing technical issue, yes, follow-up is required. We can also add here comments that, okay, what type of follow-up needs to be taken. That column you can also add up here by telling Gemini that, okay, I want an action to be taken column here. So this is one thing. Okay. And then now we have, this thing with us, we have the results, we fed the results, we did the survey. So we had the initial assessment before start of academic session. So 3 things are here. Now, based on this entire information, we can track every student. Okay. Like, let's say, for example, this student is here. Yeah. Let's say this roll number 16, let's say 𝗬𝗵𝗁 16. So low, initially, again, that student was performing low. This is, again, he kept on performing low, he kept on staying behind, and then he kept on facing conceptual problem. And then again, he has also mentioned here, so that, for example, these type of students, they need intervention. So this is a very, very clear picture, and you can relate things. Then okay, now what to do with all this information? The last stage of the workflow is that, okay, pivot log. Remember, I have told you that then we can ask same in the Google Sheet or in our master context hub, we can write a prompt that, okay, based on this data, this implementation tracker sheet, now give me the trends that are there. Okay, what are the trends, general trends, systematic conceptual bottleneck, for example, pacing application problem, then compounded foundational and access gaps, you see here. And we can even, again, depending on your prompt, what type of information you want, and then what action can be taken. You see, it has given me suggestions and what should be the expected results, you see. So here, for example, it's expected result of 100% elimination of technical and environmental barrier. So here you can add another column that, okay, result or target was achieved or not achieved. So in this way, you see that starting from day 1 till, after a month or even after a week, you can do this exercise and you can get intervention strategies. It is going to give you expected result is not something, it is giving it blindly or action to be taken, because everything is aligned with school policy, everything is aligned with the key performance indicators which you have set in a master context hub. So it will give you suggestions based on that document, not blindly. Okay, it will give you something if you don't relate it to anything, but then that thing will not be useful for you. Okay, so now let me show you the master context hub in detail. That, okay, I have shown the presentation, And this is one of the project which I have developed for grade 10. And the title of the project is Physics Proficiency Project. And as I have told you, that project can be of different types, that can be of subject level, that can be, you can have a project for improving the certain, let's say, teaching methodology of teachers, that can be some school improvement plan. So that can be, any project related to teaching or assessment or intervention, any type of project that needs consistent, you can say, supervision or consistent feedback. And then an action needs to be taken after that. That can be a suitable project. So for grade 10, a physics proficiency project, the goal, so this is the overall goal: to increase school-wide STEM proficiency by 20% and eliminate the operational lag between student struggle and teacher intervention. So this is basically the goal of, let's say, our school improvement plan, where the school wants to focus on improving the STEM proficiency level. So this is the main goal we have, the teacher has taken from there. And so I always say that principals should give visibility to school improvement plans to their teacher. It is very much important. It should not be a dead document in your offices. Teachers should know what is expected and what the leaders have planned, and because they are the ones who have to implement those on ground. Now, the stage one idea. So the stage one is that I defined that, okay, the parameters or the North Star or my compass, because I want to find the main roadblock standing in our way. So this can be done in Google document, the way I have created a Google Doc. So now the project thesis means, again, the problem and solution. Remember these two things. You have to mention the problem and you have to suggest a solution in this statement. Like, for example, a 5-day sprint cycle to spot students who are struggling early using weekly assessment so we can help them before they fail the big test. I have just shown you the implementation tracker sheet which I have developed for that. So 5-day sprint cycle means 5-day working days. Normally around the world, we do have, Monday to Friday, a 5-day working day cycle for schools. So this is something which we will run weekly, and so that we can help students instead of, delaying that thing. So desired outcome is a learning environment where 100% of at-risk students. So in desired outcome is basically your future state or your desired state you want to have. So you want 100% of at-risk students to be identified, and you want to engage them before a unit assessment, ensuring no student drifts into failure due to lack of visibility. So this is something, an ideal, you have set an ideal, the ideal state that, okay, you want that if you have 30 students in your class, so on weekly basis, you are able to know their personal problem, conceptual problem, their technical problem, and their environmental issues, so that those things you can solve through your teaching, or you can talk to administration for let's say for technical help, or you can maybe talk to parents so that those issues can be resolved. So this is the desired outcome you want to have. Then mission alignment. Now, again, this is very, very important for some teachers. They might, think this is something that needs to be done by principals. But you see, again, you should have a clarity that what your school stands about and what you are teaching, how it is related, you see. So aligned with the STEM proficiency improvement plan. For example, the school has that plan. You see, I have link. A very good thing, Noor was also in our previous session. And Noor, I'm developing that same master document right now. I have developed the same master document. So you see, I have put everything in place. So I have, let's say, added links to it. So I don't need to open multiple documents. I have added up links here so that I can see. So my project aligns with the STEM proficiency improvement plan. You see, this is the plan of, let's say, the school. It is here. I have it right now, and I have developed this plan, and my project links to this. Then the curriculum benchmarks for, let's say, that can be national curriculum benchmarks or international curriculum benchmarks, or if you're an IB school curriculum benchmarks, so on and so forth. So again, you see, they are here. Then grade 10 physics syllabus. Okay, what topics you are teaching, maybe. And then also some of the schools and school systems, they also give weekly breakdown of the topics as well. That is the scheme of work they get. they take, even schools and anything, colleges and universities now, mostly the school, develops that thing that, okay, in this week, you're going to teach this chapter, this is topic day wise. So even if you have that scheme of work, that can also be added up here in your master context hub, so that you have everything with you. Even if you need academic calendar of your institution, that can also be added up here if you feel that it is required. Okay, so now I have for my this project, I have these I have added up the links to these 3 major documents. So whatever I will do, so that will be automatically, Gemini is going to refer to these documents, and accordingly it is going to give me a strategy. For example, if a student is failing twice or thrice, a policy is there. So Gemini, in the light of this policy, let's say, it is going to help me to chalk out a plan or to chalk out a strategy. So Gemini will not be blind, okay, or it is not going to refer to its own sources. So it will refer to what I have linked here in the document. Now, primary stakeholders, very, very much important, that who are the stakeholders or who are the effectees of this project, or who are all involved in this project. Let's say grade 10 students, physics teachers, and parents of especially at-risk students. And secondary stakeholders can be, for example, academic coordinator or school principal, let's say, or subject coordinator. Then the friction point, I have already explained that friction point is basically, it has nothing to do with, for example, student. It is a problem that is inbuilt in the system. So before developing this workflow, the school used to intervene after a month. But the aim is that instead of intervening after 30 days, after 5 days, we are able to reduce that time of 4 weeks to 1 week, 30 days to 25 working days to 5 working days. So this is the problem which we want to address here as well. So right now the slow intervention cycles are there, so that prevent timely support for struggling students. So it happens. So this is a very genuine problem which we all face, and I myself have been, during my entire career, we have been focusing on how to uplift these struggling learners and all that. So this is a very genuine issue. Then stage 2 is strategy. Now here the implementation tracker, remember I have told you that we need to create that. So I will show you the step-by-step thing, that how I have done it. First, let me just explain it. So again, create a live scoreboard in a Google Sheet to track progress and trigger help. Help trigger means that, okay, where as I have shown you that these are the triggers. Sorry. For example, these are the triggers, these red flag, this is the trigger. Okay, these barrier categories, these are the triggers, for example. In this case, red flag is the trigger. Then here you can see, for example, metrics are STEM proficiency score. Again, it is aligned with our improvement plan. Intervention velocity means that, okay, timeline of intervention. Baseline is right now the school is, let's say, responding in 12 days or 25 days. So we want that, okay, by the end of year 1, the response time should be reduced to 48 hours. And we are going to review this thing weekly. STEM proficiency score bi-weekly. And then, for example, active engagement through project-based learning, that can be done through monthly. So these are the metrics which we want to set, for example, for our implementation tracker. So here, again, now I have completed my implementation tracker. So I have added it, the link to here, which I have just recently shown you. Then this is a context Google document linked to academic overview. I also needed it that to give it to, let's say, my teacher, for example, that what does the policy mean? You see, here it is. What does the policy means? What are the benchmarks? Let's say, here it is. This is the document. And then the friction thing and all those things. So you can also take the help of, I have taken the help of Gemini. So what I did, the very first thing which I had done was that I had developed this master context hub, and then stage by stage, I took the help of Gemini as well. That, for example, I asked it that, okay, this is the improvement plan of STEM, and this is my project. Now I want to prepare a document for academic overview of a teacher, so that she can easily understand all these metrics and these scores, and then how to interpret those and all those things. So you can prepare it. So I have taken help of Gemini in creating that, and also creating my prompts as well. Then, for example, formative results. Now these are the weekly results. Let's say I have this sheet here. So Here you go. So I have this sheet as well, a separate sheet, and this sheet can be easily, fed into my tracker sheet as well. So I can simply, I just need to, open Gemini, and I just need to refer to my assessment result sheet. You see, and it will appear here. For example, weekly. See. So here, and I can ask it that, okay, give me your weekly assessment results of week 1, and then I can ask Gemini to feed that week 1 score result here in my tracker sheet. So this is another way of doing it. One is that you directly add numbers here. The other way is that if you have a separate sheet, you can simply add link here in this Gemini, as you can see in the right bottom, and it will automatically pull out the score from there. It is going to populate your implementation tracker sheet. So these are two ways of doing it. So you can do that. And then at stage 3 is now the alignment stage. Now, again, two things are possible at this stage. Again, now we have the initial insights of the student result, as I've told you. Now we want to communicate those results, let's say, to parents, or we want to ask teachers, or we want to talk to them, or we want to give briefing to them that, okay, this is the problem with physics department and all that, and then what do they think about it. So here what you can do is that you can have templates, ready-made templates, and I have also got prepared this template from Gemini. Simply I asked it from here on this side Gemini, I asked it that, okay, refer to my master context hub document and prepare. You see here in the chat, you can also see it is here. Here, refer to my master context hub and see stage 3 and create a parent email template based on it. So stage 3 of what? My master context hub. So I am developing things. I don't need to go outside of my master context hub document. I can do many things here. I just simply need to write prompts, or I can ask it to give me, idea for prompt and all that. And then I can generate responses out. So I don't need to go anywhere else. Then, for example, I can prepare a slide deck. So let's say I can ask it, Gemini, for example, I can ask, okay, let's say this is my, just hold on, consolidated. Okay, just hold on, consolidated, yeah. Refer to consolidated implementation tracker and create slides, create a slide deck for physics department teacher. Okay, so which again the result which I have shown you, the tracker. So I have said that, okay, refer to that and create a slide deck for physics department teachers. Okay, show them. Okay, include a summary of your findings, let's say of key findings, and I want okay, key findings, and then required action to be taken, okay, and expected results or outcomes, for example. Okay, so I've said that, okay, I want to create, now I want to give a presentation, or I want to conduct a session with my teachers. I want to talk about the findings of implementation tracker. So you see, it has here, you can see now it has started developing it has started developing now these slides for me. You see on the right side, you can see, you see here. So you see, you are able to see the references of exactly, it has highlighted students roll numbers as well. Okay, they have these environmental or technical barriers. So see how detailed the slide deck it has given it to me. So I could have simply written it, create a slide deck, I want to talk to my teachers about physics problems. It would give me, but it is not going to give me a proper thing. So here you can see it has given me very nice slide content, very scientifically given me everything. and the findings, and then what action needs to be taken and what should be the expected results. So everything it has given me here. It is right here. Now I can also, I will see if time allowed, I will also show you how quickly you can, copy paste these slides and you can create your presentation, Google Slides and Google Words. Let's see if I find some time. I'm just going to, for the time being, I will just insert it here. There is a red line. I need to reshare again. Just hold on. Okay. So what I will do is that I will, create a new tab, you see, and I will save my slide deck here for my future use, let's say. So I love to keep things consolidated, because again, you don't need to refer to 101 files. Everything is there. So this is my slide deck, physics teachers. Okay. Now I have prepared that. It is there with me. And once I prepare this presentation in the same pattern, I can add link here. Then, for example, so this is the parent email I've shown you. This is again, once the slide deck is ready, we can just simply need to click here. And from here, we will be inserting a link. You see, okay, let's say slide deck physics teachers. I've added, and you see, there you go. So here I can also, I have added, a tab as well. This tab link, it has also given me this tab link as well, and I have simply added. So it is very simple. And then also you can also prepare ready-made feedback templates for students. Or for example, here I can ask it again, the consolidated, let's say my sprint cycle. I will again request it. Okay, refer to this and write feedback note for students who are facing conceptual problems. Okay. Because I have, sorted out those students here in this sheet, conceptual problems. So now, and I have added up a link to that sheet. So let's see, write a feedback note for students who are facing, now mention the 2 actions they need to take and 2 strategies teacher will use to clarify concepts. Okay. So here you can see that now it will again, based on that, will identify those students having conceptual problems only, let's say. And even I can also, tell him the specific number of the student. And even that, can you see the next 2 actions? Now it has given attend the math for physics bridge session. You see, come at 20 minutes earlier. Then, for example, for student, let's say for teacher, how teacher is going to clarify targeted diagnostics through math audit, pre-lesson math audit. Math audit means it's logical and mathematical concepts, because again, that is a part and parcel of physics. Specialized foundational intervention. So you see, it has given me that okay, what teacher need to do, or what teacher will do, or what student need to do. So you can send this email, this note to student, or you can even talk verbally as well. You can tell your these set of students. Then the other interesting and a more important thing is the pulse, or the stage 4, the barrier data. So one thing I want to clarify here is that think of this workflow as a cyclic process. So it is not mandatory that once you have done communication at stage 3, you see here, communication at stage 3, and then you should not communicate things again. It is possible that you, after viewing the initial results, you have communicated to your staff, your teacher, your student, sorry, here at stage 3. And then after conducting a survey, you can again go back. You can again communicate where you feel appropriate that any specific stakeholder need to be talked to. So this stage 3, that is communication thing, can be repeated. Communication can be done at stage 3. Communication can be done after stage 4. Communication can also be done after stage 5. In fact, it is advisable that to keep your stakeholders well informed. Then, for example, here, stage 4 is the pulse. Now, the barrier data, remember, I've told you that we will conduct a survey. So now here is a link of the survey form, which I have created. And by the way, I have not typed anything. I have not typed anything. What I did was that I had simply, you see, help me create feature here. I just told it that that I need to create a form, and I want to identify the 4 types of barrier, which I mentioned: technical, personal, conceptual, environmental. So develop a 3 question form for me. So I just did that, and it gave me. In my previous workshop, I have explained the process in detail. You can see that. So here, like for example, what I did smartly is that I again asked Gemini here that I want to conduct a survey form. Give me a prompt. Give me a prompt for survey form. So the prompt for that survey form I have taken from Gemini here. I have not written it myself. So now here comes the tricky part, the form response. Now, those of you who have been frequently using Google Form, so you must have observed that here, when you have to see the responses. So when you want to view in sheets, so it gives you, 2 options. One is that, okay, you want results in a new spreadsheet, or you want to link those results to an existing spreadsheet. So what I have done is that I have linked this form to my implementation tracker. Here, I have linked it to my implementation tracker, this one, and it automatically, responses, they come here easily, here or in a new window. Let me show you the other version as well. This is a consolidated version, and this is a version which I have created. It has multiple tabs. Let's see. Okay, so for example, just hold on. This is the baseline data of the same which I have shown you. Just hold on. Let me just put this thing away. Okay, so here, this is the baseline data. This is the, weekly thing I have separately. Then this is the barrier survey result. It will come in this format. So it will come in this format. It will not directly go to my tabs. It will first come in this format. And from here, I can collect the responses, or I can ask whatever I require. And then I can copy paste. Here, you see. For example, I've done survey with 4 students. So their responses are here. I have copied them from this tab. Given a command, it has taken information and then copied them here. And then this one is the pivot log analysis one, the one which I've shown you. So this is one of the format where each tab is separate. The baseline tab is separate. The initial assessment of the student, the weekly assessment, 4 weeks assessment. This is the survey result original. This is, we have imported here, and this is our action plan. That okay, now what to do next. So this is one way of doing it. And the other is that I have consolidated now. First I created that, and then I consolidated everything here so that you can get a complete picture that what we have developed. So you see, these form responses, they are then connected to that implementation tracker. So you don't need to, juggle with too many sheets. One sheet will work for you. And then, as I was telling you, the analysis pivot log. So this is the format I have, and you have seen this format here as well. This is the pivot log. You see here, date, intelligence, means that what AI has suggested you, action to be taken, expected result, and then other columns can also be added up. Then, for example, here the safe parameter. Again, we're talking about this data privacy. No student personal data should be added. Only you can anonymize IDs, human in the loop. I have talked earlier. All AI-generated intervention plans need to be seen. Then bias check quarterly audit to ensure equitable support across all student demographics. Again, it is very, very important. So I hope that you have understood all of these things. So then what I have done is that I have also written my prompts with the help of Gemini as well. Let me just quickly close the extra tabs. Okay, let me just show you. Here are they. Okay, these are the prompts which I have written, and I can use them over and over, or I can modify. You can see here they are written. So again, you just need to tell Gemini your rough idea that okay, what you want at each stage, and then it can give you these prompts. So I have taken these prompts from Gemini. I have not written them myself. I've just told it that what I want, the main thing, and then it has given me these prompts, and I can copy paste these prompts again and again, and I can do this workflow in this way. Now the last thing which I want to show you, in my previous workshop I had shown in detail that okay, once you have, let's say now you have a slide deck, and you in the Google Workspace now you want to create slides. Now one method of creating slides which I almost always use, even my today's presentation, I always, most of the time now, 𝗪𝗵𝘁𝗹𝗹 is my go-to tool for that. And Sana had a great session on 𝗪𝗵𝘁𝗹𝗹, and Sana, do share the recordings link with audience as well. So that is one possibility, that you can create presentation over there. But let's say you want to create your presentation here in Google Slides. So what I'm going to just do it, I'm just going to copy it. And now I am going to open Google Slides here. Okay. And let's say now here I have possibility that I can import an existing presentation. I can use these templates as well, and I can create even a blank slide. So let's say I want to create a blank slide. Again, I'm going to open up this Gemini here. I'm just going to, now one is that I can copy. Now here is a limitation. If I copy paste entire slide deck, it is not going to give me the entire slide deck here. So what I need to do is, I will do it smartly. What I will do is that I will give it, let's say, slide by slide. For example, I want a slide of executive summary. I just copy it here and I just paste it here. And this is possible, and I can ask it to create, and let's say create a slide of this content. So this is one way of doing it, and it will create an image with 𝗪𝗵𝘁𝗹𝗹 basically. If you don't want to do manually, obviously manual typing is possible, you can do it, but if you don't want to do it manually, so it will use 𝗪𝗵𝘁𝗹𝗹, and then it will create an image of your content. It will write all things, and which you can simply click and you can insert. In my previous workshop, I have demonstrated this thing in great detail, that okay, how it is possible. You see here now, you see here it has given me a slide, and I said okay, insert. Now I want to make any changes. Let's say in this slide I want to change image, or I want to change the, let's say, the layout. That okay, here infographic is also possible. We can generate an infographic on this content. We can change the color scheme of this content, or we can maybe change here if I want to. You see here, this content is here. I can change it here. This is an update. Wow. So I can change it from here as well. And then obviously this thing can be changed. So you see, automatically you just copied it, and then it has helped you in putting your data here. Now here, for example, I want that, okay, you see, replace infographic. I had clicked and I want to replace it. Let's say, or you can also add in a new slide. Uh-oh.
Shahida, I have a question for you once you're done with this, but don't go away from the slides because it's related to this.
Hold on. Okay, insert as a new slide. There you go. Okay, so this is how you see it has now given me in the infographic format. The initial was the this format with a photo, and let's say I can ask it, okay, insert an image, suitable image this side, or I can even tell that, okay, what type of image I can do. I will show you my previous presentations which I have created, so you will have a very nice idea that what type of possibilities are there. And once you have created this presentation, you can also create a video out of it. You can record your video with the presentation. That is also very much a possibility. It takes a bit of time until the time. Okay. Ah, nice. So here it is. There you go. And I want a new slide. Don't want, or I can also replace the existing slide. So you see, here it has changed it. But this time you can see mistakes. You can see mistakes here. This is all wrong. So uh, moral of the story is that instead of asking here Nana to do the editing, just if you have an image here the way I had, but I had deleted it, just click on that image and ask it to change just that image. Otherwise it is going to change your entire slide the way it has done mine. Okay, so yes, Andy, please ask question.
Yes, a lot of people, for example, might be thinking, okay, there are other tools out there that are very similar in terms of creating slides for presentations or different documents, like Gamma. We are big fans of that app. In case that people in the audience have never heard of it, it's actually really good. The name is Gamma with double M. And my question is, can you please name like basic differences between Gamma and this explanation that you are giving us so people are not confused in case that they're using similar apps? Or for example, if it's not Gamma, Canva has also very similar features. So let's talk about the differences and why, for instance, this is a lot more convenient, especially if we are working on a Google, let's say, ecosystem.
Look, number one is that you don't need to go out of your ecosystem. You see, you don't need to switch to multiple apps. I have been there and I have done it. Then there is a possibility of making changes easily in Gamma. Again, you get a same set of variety. You don't get much variety in Gamma. Like it has set pattern, and you typical color scheme, typical infographic. Every time you can recognize from miles that this has been generated by Gamma. So again, there are limitations of paid limitations, but you just need to get one paid subscription, and there you go. Your entire workflow is at one place, and obviously the more you share information out of your immediate Google Workspace, the more you are opening to risks and all that. So it also helps that. Then also, for example, this was one of the presentation which I had created earlier, and that is about the climate thing. So again, here we can do a lot of minute changes. We can change the text, we can replace the images. Like for example, last week when I was demonstrating, these trees were not there, I have added them. So a lot is possible in it. Possibilities are much more exploration, much more possibilities are there as compared to Gamma or any other thing. Yes, Notebook LM, I'm a great fan of that. That is also there. It gives you a great variety in terms of infographics and color scheme. So for example, this presentation I have created over there, then I have imported here. And then for example, I can create this one into a video. Let's say I ask it to convert to a video, and there you go. It will now export this presentation to Google Vids. You see, these are connected. Another thing is, Andy, another thing which I want to highlight here is, like, for example, because Google Slide is inside the workspace. So again, is the way I was demonstrating in Google Sheets and Google Docs, you just need to refer to a particular document as well if you don't want to copy paste. And it can, again, take information from there as well. So you don't need to go outside your immediate workspace. Everything is available under one roof. The only thing you need to do is you need to again practice, and frequently when you will use, so you will be getting used to this thing. So here, for example, it gives me an option of voiceover as well. Welcome to Climate Architect. Is it audible, Andy?
Luckily, this time it is. So go ahead.
Climate Solutions and AI. This video explores how to design community-level climate interventions using... So here, like for example, the beauty of this is you see
Our community space
that it here in Google Vids, it goes frame by frame. And like you can add frames, you can delete frames, you can make animations. Like for example, here, if I want to add animation, let's say what I will do is view, and I can select this, let's say, and I want to create an animation of this slide, let's say. Okay. And what it will do is that it will I can get this slide animated as well. So it is also very much possible. Till the time it does that, I will also show you, just hold on, one thing which I have worked. Now we are just 4 minutes are left. Let's see. So this is another example. And this was one of the template that was available in the uh, vids, and I have used that template. And here again, the good thing is I can change everything, the text, the videos, from stock photos. There is a possibility to add, I can record it, I can add captions, text. So a lot is possible. See, instead of using 100 tools, instead of using the video editing tools and then a separate presentation tool and then separate Excel sheet, everything is here in the workspace. You don't need to go out of here. You see, everything is there at one place. So it is again another example.
Fatima is asking, is this feasible once we get the paid version of Gemini? Or
yeah.
I mean, is it only possible all of these if we get the paid version?
Yeah. It is possible. It is possible in the paid version.
We are not just discussing the problem. We are designing a way out.
So you see, I can add animations here, but then you have to invest on one tool. You don't need to go and invest on 10 others. So you just need to invest on one tool. So these are different possibilities that are there. I was just looking for one more that was really awesome.
Yeah, we have just 2 more minutes.
Yeah, just I'm just project
I've shared the feedback form as well. Please fill that up.
Okay.
And Fatma, one more, because I've also answered it in the chat. But the thing is that in the free version, Gemini is not integrated within the apps. And what Shahida has showed is how Gemini integrated within the apps helps you develop the workflow. So you can have a look at what are the different plans that are available in your region. So the Gemini Plus plan, I think so, is more of an affordable tier at the moment.
Yeah, it is affordable. Like for example, they have 6 months offer. In Pakistan, it has 700 rupees. And I think in dollars it is $2.99. So, and even if you have to pay like 1,400 rupees, I think Pakistan, it is very much affordable, very much affordable. So you
some
see
of
now
the countries have these plans. Some of the countries have this plus plan. They're rolling it out to other countries as well. So keep an eye out if you're not within the countries, if we're not within the list of those 40 countries at the moment.
Okay, thank you, Sana. So this is the last one which I want to show you. Now, what I had done is this was my, let's say, an AI ready project brief. So this presentation was completely slide by slide. I had created with 𝗪𝗵𝘁, all these slides. Okay, and even now, if I want to change them, make any changes, I can change them because here through VO it is possible. I can, here is again 𝗪𝗵𝘁 is also here in the image, and all these things. So this was the presentation which was completely slide by slide I had created in a 𝗪𝗵𝘁, and then again I converted that slide deck into video, as you can see, and voiceover is there. It takes a little.
That governance is established, culture is our focus, and accountability is clear. Project success is tied to.
So you see that voiceover is also there, and avatar is also a possibility that you can choose avatars from here if you want to change them, any voice or any person you want to select. Even if you want to create your own avatar, that is also possible. So that's it. Thank you so much for being patiently listening to whatever I have been demonstrating. I know this This concept of workflows and all that is a bit new, in fact, very new for many people. But I think it is high time now that we should start learning how to connect the dots instead of creating fragmented documents out of these large language models. We should have everything at one place so that we can address the teaching learning problems and all those things immediately. So that's how the learning outcomes can be improved. That's how the interventions can be given timely and in a timely manner. Otherwise, everything will be fragmented and that will be of no use. So thank you so much for today's session. So I think that's it from my side. If there is any question, I would like to answer. And if there is no, thank you so much. And Sana and Andy, you can go with the concluding remarks.
There is one question from Mr. Ramesh.
Yes, please.
Mrs. Ramesh, sorry.
You can unmute yourself. You're not, you're.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Miss Jyotu Ramesh. I'm from UAE. Actually, I have one question. I have one subscription for this Gemini also. But the thing is that in our school, we have to prepare the presentations in Canva. So what I'm doing is, because from Canva itself, we are integrating into our LMS. We are using Black. So what right now I'm doing is, sometimes I use Gamma, but I'm not supposed to use it because it looks everything similarly, because easily persons can identify that we are using Gamma. Yeah, sometimes I'm using this Google presentation also. But the thing is that, can we incorporate the same presentation as ma'am have shown with the videos or the voiceover? We can integrate in the Canva, same as it as.
In Canva, we need to check this thing, it is possible or not. But in Veo, as I've shown you, it is possible. So now what you can do is what I have done. Like, for example, I have created my presentation using Notebook LM.
Yes.
So what I did is that I imported it here in my drive. And then when it went there, so it automatically, changed it to Google Slides. You see?
Yes, ma'am.
And then once it is changed into Google Slides, then it can be easily used by Veo and it can be modified. Now, this voiceover and all these, a lot of features that are there in Veo, I'm not sure are they available in Canva or not. I think Andy can answer this question.
Yeah, I was here just opening my Gamma just to check one thing, because what I would do for the moment, no, we cannot like integrate it, at least as far as I know of. But for example, when we are going to download or export the document, it can be exported into Google Slides. You see, so what I would do is just use that shortcut, and like from all the things that we have learned today, just do that one more step as if you were doing it in Canva. So download or export it with Google Slides, and try to do as much as you can within the editing in the Google Slides. And if it's absolutely necessary for you to use Canva because it's what is required, I would then do the other step and take it to Canva.
Ma'am, we can embed it, because I have seen an embed option in Canva, so we can use that.
So it is possible right now to embed it.
I have seen one embed option there. They like from
you can
other
try out,
platforms.
just explore and also let us
Yes,
know as
ma'am,
well.
yes,
It will be good
Another thing we can do is, we'll also try it out, and if there are other things with respect to, because not only you, but a couple of other people are also looking at cross app integration.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is something that we
Because
feel
across
that
the globe means, ma'am, different schools are using different platforms. In our school, we are using Blackboard Interchange. So what is instructed to us is, whatever we have to do, everything we have to use inside the app.
Yes,
Whether we are using Canva, we have to go from through our LMS to the Canva. So that's what we got instructed.
The only thing that I was going to add is that the problem when you do cross, use of platforms is that sometimes that document, whatever it is, especially with the image, the information is moved. I mean, like the structure, the template is absolutely destroyed. So that is what we have to see which one works best and at least does the initial work, and then we can do the tweaking. That's the only thing that we can do for the now.
And also what you can do is, like, for example, example, that as you have seen that when I have developed my master document, the master context hub, I was
Yes,
adding
ma'am.
links, you see.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
yeah, so I was adding links. So I think in developing that master document is very important. If you have that thing in place and all the required links at one place, I think it should work well. You just need to click the link and it will take you to
Yes,
Canva
yes.
or any other places where you want it to be taken. So one thing which I have not intentionally covered today, and that was, how to automatically write emails in Gemini, because we have already covered this thing when I had given my initial 2 workshops, and they were about the agentic gems. So we have covered that aspect over there in a lot of detail. So the recordings are available on our YouTube channel. You will just need to subscribe it, and everything is there. Even today's session, Sana, so nice of her, she manages everything. I'm really grateful to her. So she will also upload this video over there within a week, and you will be getting it over there. So thank you so much,
Thank you,
Sana.
ma'am. The session was very informative. Three of you,
Okay.
thank you so much.
And you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you
Sana,
for joining and
over
asking
to
the
you.
questions.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay,
All right.
Sana,
Thank you
your
so
concluding
much,
remarks.
everybody, for joining. If you have not filled in the feedback form, kindly do that. So we are able to share the resources, and along with that, we are also able to send you your certificate within this week as well. Thank you again, everyone, and definitely see you guys. Maybe not next week, but the week after that for the session. We'll keep you guys posted about everything on our WhatsApp and on our LinkedIn as well.
Sana, do share the link of our WhatsApp channel as well with them if they are not, the WhatsApp community as well, so that it's always good to stay in touch.
Yes.
She is sharing it. I think some of you are already there.
Yeah.
It's really good to have you.
Okay.
Okay,
This is the link for our WhatsApp community.
yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. It was really a pleasure talking to you and sharing whatever little we know, and keep in touch and stay connected. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.